we can now officially say that we will be riding this beast of a roller coaster this year. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is TheJackSilkstone and welcome back to yet another Project Exodus / Hyperia construction update. That's right, welcome to 2024, ladies and gentlemen. We can now officially say that we will be riding this beast of a roller coaster this year. Already in this new year, we've had so much construction take place on Hyperia in multiple different places within the site. If you watch my last update that I filmed just before Christmas, you'll know that they were of course carrying on with the construction of the roller coaster itself. They were working on the station, they were tearing down the old food unit that used to remain from Old Town. Well, now that we're in the new year, we're in 2024 now, each and every one of these different elements of this ride have progressed so much. I think I'm going to start by heading down towards this end of the site where we've got this insane twist, and I'm going to show you the roller coaster itself. So as I'm filming this little clip, we've got some workers putting a brand new bit of track into place, which is so exciting. But yeah, let me show you the work that has been taking place on these support towers in the middle of the site. Because of course the last time that I was here, they just kind of started working on this big middle support structure. But up until that point, it was always all of this stuff down this end of the site, and then you had this support tower down towards the station. But yeah, now we've got a middle section of the site, which is very active. In fact, look at that track being taken right up into the sky there. Wow. But yeah, what you are actually looking at is over here, the bottom of the very first drop of the ride, which is so cool to see. So yeah, this is the part that's going to take you up 236 feet into the air and will connect onto that massive lift hill once that is done. Wow, look at that track. And then yeah, this bit of track that they are installing right now is as you come out of the first element of the ride into this drop that will then take you into the massive kind of twist element down this end of the site. And then yeah, these two bits of track are both for the bottom of that first drop, which will take you up into the sky, and also the bit of track that will come down into the splashdown towards the end of the ride, which will then take you up here and then right around into the final airtime hill and the brake run. So yeah, loads and loads of construction has been taking place. I don't know if this camera angle is necessarily putting into scale just how big this support structure is. I'm excited to head back down towards the station because that's when you really get the scale of just how big this middle section of the ride is. But yeah, the work, look how small the workers are, guys. I think that puts it into perspective pretty well, doesn't it? Wow. In fact, I'm going to stop the camera rolling and take a picture of that because that is an amazing sight right there. And then yeah, I think there's something quite interesting just below this bit of track that I'd quite like to address, because I know a lot of you are probably panicking quite a lot seeing that on the white track. Oh yes, so I managed to snap some beautiful photos of that bit of track that's being installed right there. All of the photos that I take here on the park are uploaded to the Thorpe Park annual pass holders group on Facebook. So if you've got an annual pass to the park or a Merlin pass, be sure to join that group. And I also post them over on my social media, so be sure to go and follow me. And my plan is, once this entire project is over, I'm going to put all of these photos together in a really nicely presented book, which hopefully you'll be able to buy, maybe even from the gift shop here on site. That would be amazing. But yeah, I think we need to talk about something which is probably upsetting some of you roller coaster enthusiasts. If you look on this bit of track, which they are just installing over here, and you may notice that there's almost like a silver stripe just below where the cherry picker is right now, just about there. Now this came as a big shock to me when I came on site yesterday, because the very first one of these had been installed. Essentially, these are called trim brakes, and trim brakes on roller coasters are a safety precaution. What they do is if the coaster is running too quickly, then they use these trim brakes to essentially slow the ride down so that it can take certain elements at a safer pace. And when they were putting the track into the splashdown part of the ride, a lot of people noticed that there are in fact trim brakes on that part of the ride, and that is of course to slow the ride down a tiny bit before it comes into this final brake run on the ride. And yeah, I have to say, I wasn't necessarily expecting to see any more trim brakes on this ride, so it was a bit of a shock yesterday when I saw it. But yeah, we've got a very small section of trim brakes just here. Now obviously, don't take my word to be gospel. I'm not a roller coaster engineer, I don't work for Mac, I don't even work for Thorpe Park, but my guess is that these trims have only been installed for, of course, the next element of the ride, this insane twist element. Because what you do is you come straight out of this drop, and as you can see, the track joins up and you go into this element, which, as I've said many times on the channel, is pretty much a world's first element. It's one of the main highlights of this ride. It's something that we've never really seen on this level on a roller coaster anywhere in the world. So as I said, again, don't take my word for gospel, but I imagine the reason that they've put these trim brakes in just before this element is purely just in case. Because obviously when they start testing this ride, yeah, they've done countless simulations and calculations and all of that, and believe me, Mac are an incredible company, they know what they're doing. But at the end of the day, until they start sending this ride around with test dummies and different weights across the train, they have no idea how the roller coaster car is going to take this brand new element. So I imagine, as I said, the reason they put trims in is just in case this ride is flying around this thing to the point where it wouldn't be safe for people to ride, then these trims will allow them to slow it down a little bit, and it will allow them to perfect just how they want this element to feel. Because yeah, it's an absolutely gorgeous element that I'm so excited to ride, but if you're A, going over it way too quick, or B, going over it way too slow, then it's not going to be ideal. So the trim brake, I believe, is there to make sure that you're enjoying this element above me at the perfect speed, where you'll feel some amazing air time and hang time, and they'll be able to make that pretty consistent every time you ride this ride. So yeah, I don't think these trim brakes are anything to worry too much about. Obviously, this is a very, very tall element of the ride, and there's a lot more of Hyperia even after this element, so it's not like you're going to be stopped right in your tracks. And who knows, they might not even use these trims, they might purely be there as a bit of a safety precaution. But yeah, as you can see, they very much are there. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how much they affect the ride once it starts testing. And yeah, just above these trim brakes, as you can see, they've made quick progress putting in this new bit of white track. I'm starting to hear some banging, which means they're putting in all of the bolts and stuff that they need to fasten that. I'd say that bit of track now is about over 150 feet of this still. Considering this element behind me is 165 feet, I'd say it's very quickly creeping up to be about the same size. But yeah, as I said earlier, I think the best place where you can appreciate just how big this support structure is by heading back down towards the station side of the site. So let's go down there now. I have to say, considering the amount of rain that we've had in the Surrey area recently, the site is actually not bad at all. We've got some nice solid ground, and I think Monk's Walk, which is obviously just the other side of this grey fence, the public footpath, that I've seen and heard is completely flooded down both ends, which is not ideal. Big up everyone that's still trekking down there to get those updates, so I very much respect it. But yeah, currently the site isn't too bad at all. And yeah, this view here, guys, is the one that I've been talking about. Look just how much of a beast this support tower currently is. And yeah, now that this bit of track has been added, it's just getting even more exciting, because of course this tower is eventually going to link up with this bit of track over here. So yeah, of course you're going to come down the very first drop of the ride, which you can see just behind this big support tower off in the distance. That's the first drop. You're then going to come right up into this kind of inversion here, and yeah, this bit of track is going to link up with this bit of track over here, and this is going to be one of the tallest points of the ride, and it's going to be eventually, once it's complete, one of the tallest inversions on any roller coaster in Europe, and I think it's quite high up the list for any roller coaster in the world. Just look how small like a normal person down here is in comparison to this thing. It's absolutely wild, and yeah, you can still hear them putting in this bit of track here. They're constantly bringing in new bits of track and support as well. So believe me, this thing's just going to carry on flying up over the next few weeks. And I'm sure it won't be too long at all before that lift hill starts going up, because I imagine that's as high as they'll go with that first drop of the ride before they start doing the big lift hill. Now just next to me, we've got two more massive support columns that have gone in. As you can see, they kind of attach it to other footers and supports that have already been locked into place, just to kind of help support them, especially with this like windy weather and stuff. It's not ideal to just have them left unsupported without tying them down. But yeah, all very exciting. And if we just look underneath all of this exciting construction that's been taking place, you can see they've now put a complete concrete perimeter around the splashdown of the ride, because whilst all of this dirt is going to go and the lake's going to go back into this area, the splashdown is going to remain separate, so that the water in there can of course be filtered. Not that you're supposed to get wet on the ride, but of course if the ride is going through that, then there is a chance that you might get a little bit of splashback, so that water has to be separate to the lake water once that lake is returned to this area in the next few months. But yeah, the ride station over to my left is coming along really nicely. I'll show you the nice gold plating that they're currently putting up once again on the outside of the station from a better angle in a little bit. But yeah, once you eventually have ridden Hyperia, of course you'll be coming down some exit steps, and you'll be kind of stood in this area where I am right now on the kind of exit plaza, and you'll be able to stand right here looking out over the gorgeous lake. I think this is where you're going to get the coolest views of Hyperia after you've ridden it. And yeah, you'll be able to watch the splashdown as the ride comes into there, and then as the ride kind of comes into this final brake run, you'll be able to see everyone's reactions as they come back. And then yeah, you'll be sent down a path down towards this way into the brand new photo unit and shop, which as I said, they've started constructing over the past few weeks. You can just about get a little peek of it through these supports. So let's go and check that out. So yeah, all of the gold paneling over on the station is looking absolutely amazing. It's really coming along nicely now. And then yeah, if we look over to the left, as you can see, the Merlin Magic Making team have been kicked out of what were their offices for this ride. And this framework building has flown up. So yeah, big up to the B&E team, who obviously manufactured all of this steel and then put it up in a very, very quick time. So yeah, this little unit on the end of this building is the photo unit, where you'll be able to buy your on-ride pictures from Hyperia, and then yeah, you'll head through into the kind of ride's gift shop, where you'll be able to buy all of the merch that they make for this ride. Although it's a really sunny day and it's absolutely gorgeous, my hands are frozen. So yeah, a massive big up to all of the construction workers that are working here, because their hands must be freezing. I've only been out here for like 2 hours or so, and I am absolutely frozen cold. But yeah, I absolutely would not change it for the world. Honestly, when the sun's set over the site, it's moments like this where I just look out and appreciate just how lucky I am to be documenting this amazing ride. And yeah, being able to watch it kind of grow over the last year has been absolutely amazing. One of the highlights of my life, if I'm honest. Like, I have so much fun documenting this thing, and I hope I've done it justice for you all, and you've obviously all been along for this journey as well, and it's really, really an absolute pleasure to show you this week in, week out. And as I said, I'm going to continue doing it right till the day when we're all riding this coaster on opening day. I cannot wait. But yeah, that brings me to the end of yet another Hyperia update. Thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to leave a thumbs up and of course subscribe for even more Hyperia updates. As I said, it shouldn't be too long now before the lift hill itself starts going up, and I know that's a really, really exciting part of the whole process. That's when we're really going to see how big this thing is going to be. And of course the ride cars are going to be delivered to the site at some point over the next few months, and then we're going to start seeing testing footage, which is all so exciting. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching today's video. My name's Jack Silkstone. Goodbye.